runs. So, I mean, they can swing the bats.
So they'll start off the inning with Dylan Mazzels, the pitcher, who lined out to left field in his first at-bat. Then Ryan Tannenbaum and Seth Rittenhouse, Ruben Rodriguez, the third baseman. So up to bat now, Dylan Mazzels, who, like I said, batted .720 on the regular season. I mean, who does that?
I think he's struggling a little bit in the tournament as far as his standards go, not batting .720, but he's been doing all the key things. One of the biggest notable things is his leadership. He's the team captain for the baseball team. He's the team captain for the basketball team. Not sure if he plays football. Do you know, Coach?
I don't believe so. We didn't see many teams from the South.
But I mean, this guy, he does so much for the team it has nothing to do with a glove or bat.
So we start off the fourth inning here. Mazzels in the box and looks at a ball for the first pitch of the fourth inning in this 0-1 game in favor of the Ramstein Royals. Just to let you know, this is brought to you by AFN and Vice Media, the 2012 Dodge European Baseball Championship. And there's a ball there we just saw taken by Mazzels. And if you're a pitcher, does that make it easier or harder to bat? When you're used to seeing pitches and throwing pitches, and you know the umpire's strike zone, does that affect anything?
Well, it's got a lot to do with maturity, I think. I mean, if you're a pitcher, then the first thing you're going to be doing is getting in the batter's box as a hitter and looking at the pitch and be like, okay, what is he going to throw me right here? You know. But when you're dealing with maturity and experience, I mean, you see right there, he pointed back at the pitcher. These guys know each other. But what's funny is that
you got me.
as much as these guys have played together and everything like that, yeah, it's hard to not think what the pitcher's going to do, to answer your question.
So on the 2-2 pitch, a low and outside ball, so it'll take the count to 3-2, full count here for Dylan Mazzels as he starts off the inning for the Patch Panthers here in the top of the fourth, and he looks at ball 4 in the dirt, and that's exactly what you want to do if you're the leadoff hitter in an inning, is get on base any way, anyhow. So up to bat next is number 13, Ryan Tannenbaum, who hit that big grand slam yesterday. He went down looking in his last at bat, and now the catcher is going to go do something. He's going to go talk to the coach, as I think they want to discuss a little bit of the strategy.
He has an equipment malfunction.
Is that what it is? Equipment malfunction.
I think everything stays in place, though, this version.
So no outs here, a man on first base, and like we've been talking about this whole broadcast, Patch likes to run, Ramstein likes to run. You got no outs. You got a fast guy at first base. What are you looking to do here?
Well, I mean, you're in the situation that the Ramstein Royals were in the last inning. You got the number 4 batter, a guy who hit a grand slam, 4 RBIs with 1 swing. I mean, you don't take the bat out of his hands. You don't try and squeeze something out of the situation when the player is the situation. I mean, you got a kid, 17 years old, senior experience. He's on all tournaments, second team, all Europe, all conference. I mean, this kid knows what he's doing. There you go.
And he hits a sharp shot down the line, fair ball. And that'll advance the runner at least to third base, and he is being sent home, and he will make it up standing up, no problem for Mazzels as he scores, and that is a RBI double for Ryan Tannenbaum, and that's exactly what you want to do, is just swing, hit, and make contact and get that ball on the green somewhere. So that has tied the game now, 1-1, with no outs here and a man on second base. And we look at the replay of this shot down the line by Ryan Tannenbaum.
Just hugged it.
He really did, just shot it really fast down there, and there was no stop in the hustle of Dylan Mazzels as he didn't even think about stopping at third base.
Right.
So
that's what happens when you leave curveballs up around the letters.
Yeah, no outs here, and number 7, Ruben Rodriguez steps into the box. He made it. He hit it to the shortstop and made it to first base on an error in his last at bat. But he comes into the game batting .400 in the season. So Gordeluchin deals another curveball there. He is throwing a lot of breaking balls. Are you surprised by that?
It's respect. That's what it is. It's respect for this deep patched lineup. I mean, this guy, you said hitting over 400. I mean, you're dealing with somebody who can put up numbers on any swing.
So now a 2-1 count with no outs here in the top of the fourth inning. A 1-1 game between the Ramstein Royals and the Patch Panthers for this Division I Dodge European Baseball Championship. Gordeluchin looks in for the sign, checks the runner, at second base. And a high ball right there to make it 3 balls and a strike on Ruben Rodriguez, the power-hitting third baseman.
Yeah, he was playing catcher in their semifinal game yesterday. The 11th grader coming out of Puerto Rico boasts a 3.4 GPA at school.
And he takes ball 4 outside as he will advance. So a man on first and second for number 8, Sean Rittenhouse, who steps up to the plate now with no outs. This is the situation you want to be if you're Patch.
Mr. Rittenhouse, been playing baseball for 11 years, wants to be a U.S. Navy EOD officer.
So the left fielder steps into the box now.
That's a dangerous job right there.
Waiting for John Grodeluchin.
He's not scared of RBI situations.
Grodeluchin deals. A high ball taken for ball 1.
But Mizell's batting 9th and he bats 720. So, I mean, in Major League Baseball, you see the bottom of the order come up, you know.
So another ball taken. He thought about swinging, but was able to check it. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, well, Mizell's batting third on the team. But
I'm sorry, Menini? What's Menini batting?
Menini,
He's batting around 300.
Solid 308.
I mean, 300 from your 9th hitter.
No big deal.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, you break a sweat the whole way through the lineup. Then.
So 3 balls, no strikes here.
The long way getting around to that.
3 balls, no strikes on Sean Rittenhouse, and control becoming a little bit of an issue right now in the top of the 4th inning for John Grodeluchin. Right there, that is a high pitch and ball 4. So bases are loaded with no outs, and stepping to the box is Austin LeMay, who struck out looking at his last at bat, but came into this tournament batting .471. So
LeMay
he's still a threat.
He can put the bat on the ball. I mean, he put 2 balls on the warning track yesterday in the semi game. I'm sure one of the concerns here, not just that the bases are loaded, but you know, it's the 3rd day of a long tournament, and the ball's kind of hanging up there. One was drilled down the line, a hanging breaking ball. You know, all his fastballs are raising. He needs to calm down, settle down. Otherwise, you may be in a bad situation.
Well, the catcher gave him a silver lining. There's a force out at every base.
Yeah.
Well,
how many outs we at?
0 outs right now. And a called strike. 0-1 now with no outs here in the top of the 4th inning. A 1-1 ball game. But the bases are loaded for the Patch Panthers, who have probably the hardest hitting team in Dodge. And that is taken for ball 1. 1-1 the count on number 6, Austin LeMay. Grodeluchin looks in for the sign. And he deals into the dirt, and a nice pickup there by Van Parsie, because you definitely do not want to get a pass ball in this situation. So 2 balls and a strike now. The count on LeMay. Grodeluchin looks in, getting ready to deal. And a high ball for ball 3. 3-1 now on LeMay.
Well, it looks like Tannenbaum's giving Grodeluchin fits over there at 3rd.
Well, I mean, when you're pitching, not from the stretch, when you got a guy on 3rd, I mean, it is an issue. you gotta watch how long your windup is if you got a guy bird dogging from the left side.
And it's making him press a little bit, so he's going in the dirt or he's going high a little bit.
So the count full now on LeMay. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. And he's able to get him swinging. So that is a nice 3-2, a nice payoff pitch for John Grodeluchin to give him 1 out here in a sticky situation, but now you open yourself up for that double play without allowing a run to score. So number 11, Andrew Buckskemper, steps into the box, and he took a walk in his last at bat, came into the tournament batting .421. Grodeluchin looking in for the sign. And a high ball. And how important is it when you're struggling to throw strikes to make sure you don't just give up a cookie?
I've never heard that.
Now I'm hungry. I'm not familiar with that phrase.
You don't want to put it right down Broadway for the pitcher, for the batter to hit. You know, if you're struggling, you still want to work the strike zone. You don't want to put it right down Broadway.
Yeah. You don't want to put it right down the Champs-Élysées.
Hence the cookie.
It's such a stressful situation, though. You got bases loaded in the championship game with your best guy out there. He's going to want to push on the rubber harder. He's going to want to he's gonna want to squeeze the ball more. I mean, he's probably feeling the tension, like he needs to get out there and muscle his way through this. But what he needs to do is calm down, and he'll get the results that he wants.
Uncharacteristically, 3 walks this inning for Grodeluchin.
Yeah.
Well, Grodeluchin and the catcher, Van Parsie, are going to talk this over for a second. With 2 balls and no strikes here, bases loaded, just 1 out, 1-1 game for the Dodge European Championship. Every strike, every run, every bit of this matters.
Look, did you finish that calculus homework? Yeah. Okay.
So Parsie comes back to home as they get ready for the 2-0 pitch here with 1 out. Grodeluchin looking in for the sign.
Get the experienced senior versus the freshman.
Doesn't bother to check any of the runners, just deals. And he gets that a strike there on the pitch.
Big pitch here.
Grodeluchin deals.
There it is.
Oh, an inside breaking ball, but it's called the ball for ball 4, and the runner will score. So they just walked in Ryan Tannenbaum on that one. So a 2-1 game now.
It's like, I had an RBI in the championship game.
Well, now here you got bases loaded. Your pitching is starting to get a little erratic. What do you need to do, Coach, at this point if you're the pitcher?
He can't focus on the runners. He's got to almost have tunnel vision, go after the batter, and get him out.
And with just 1 out here, bases loaded, and you've got Andrew Maneni coming up to the bat, who he did strike out swinging in his last at bat. So Grodeluchin's going to have to kind of use that to his advantage, knowing, hey, I just struck him out. I can do this again.
You got to have faith in your teammates behind you. I mean, if they put the ball in play, you can hope for a double play. But basically, you need to take it off a chunk at a time. Get this batter out, and then go for the 3rd one.
Right. If you're Grodeluchin right now, you are hoping and praying for that
you don't want the
double
seam
play
to open
ball.
up, yeah.
You want that double play to ball, because they go right back at the top of the lineup after many hits. And then you got C.J. Kellogg, Jack Smith, Dylan Mazzels, and that is just a powerful lineup. So the pitch high, and still having some issues with that strike zone, finding that strike zone here. A lot of pressure on these kids, though, isn't it, Coach?
It is a lot of pressure. I mean, they say, oh, it's just Dodds, we're over here. But, as some of the parents said earlier, the competition is ratcheting up every
So Maneni with a hit out to left field. He burns the left fielder, Garrido. 2 runners will score, and what a great hit to open up the game now, and it is 4-1.
And it wasn't a bad pitch. Grodeluchin, he hooked that ball in the inside part of the plate, and he just drove it in the left-hand field.
And you look at the replay here, and it was a shot, and Garrido, just playing a little bit out of position in left field, was burned right from the bat, right from the moment that ball was hit. So now it is a 4-1 game with a man on 2nd and 3rd, and they can really open this game up with C.J. Kellogg coming up to bat. There's a ball high on C.J. Kellogg here with just 1 out now in the top of the 4th inning. Grodeluchin needs to calm down if he wants to keep this game approachable. A breaking ball, a little high and inside on C.J. Kellogg. 2 balls and a strike, but he probably was looking over there at first base, seeing the empty base and saying, well, I don't really need to give this guy a strike, keep that double play intact.
You do need to give this guy a strike unless you want to face Jack Smith.
And C.J. Kellogg making good contact towards center fielder, but the center fielder dropped the ball. It looked like he was about to catch that, and Justin Pendergrass with it was in his glove and out of his glove. I think it was that fence that stopped him. So a RBI double for C.J. Kellogg.
That was a shot. That was a frozen rope. It hit the top of the fence.
And here you see the replay. He thought he hit a home run. You see both hands up there, but it was off the fence, and 1 run able to score there to make this a 5-1 ball game in favor of the Patch Panthers. And I tell you, giving Mazzels a 5-run lead or a 4-run lead That's a lot of room for error for that great pitcher of the Panthers. So DoDDS deals here to number 5, Jack Smith, who rips it over the shortstop for a base hit. 2 run, the first run will score, and that's Manetti who scores, and C.J. Kellogg is held up at third base, and a nice single there for Jack Smith. We'll look at the replay. You see he gets a pitch right over the outside of the plate and is able to pull that anyway for a base hit and another run to score, making the score 6-1 in favor of the Patch Panthers. And at this point, I think the coach wants to talk to John DoDDS.
It's been a long weekend for these kids. He's throwing a lot of pitches, especially this inning. You got to think that he's getting tired.
Well, they've batted around here, so.
So you've got a man at first and third, and number 20, Dylan Mazzels, with a chance to help himself out a little bit here, up to bat.
The man that started the inning with the walk.
Seemed to be some confusion on the field.
Well, this is definitely the position that Ramstein didn't want to find themselves in, down 6-1 at this point of the game, or really any point of the game. You thought they were going to want to keep this close and wait for their bats to come around, play their small ball, which is something that they do very well, is running the bases. But it looks like the Patch Panthers have kind of one-upped them on that category.
It says a lot about the Panthers. I mean, Ramstein struck first. Patch just came right back with, what was it? You had a double down the line, and then, I mean, they were disciplined at the plate, forcing the walks. They realized he wasn't throwing strikes. That's a lot of time in the cages. That's a lot of discussions and getting a philosophy into the batters' heads. And then when you do get a pitch, when a pitcher is getting tired, he just rips it, crushes it.
Well, DoDDS is now out of the game and will move to first base, so it'll be a matter of who's going to pitch now. It looks like LeBee is going to be the pitcher. That's Dustin LeBee, who's moving from first. They just basically switch roles there. He'll come in and pitch for the Ramstein Royals. Are you surprised to see a pitching change right now?
Being down 5 runs? Is it 5?
It is 5 runs, 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. I mean, you have to make a change. You've got. He almost went yard on. He almost hit a home run off DoDDS. So I mean, they've got his number. They batted around. He's obviously getting a little fatigued, maybe a little mentally. So, you know, and there you see again.
You still need his bat, so.
Yeah, and you sure do. Yeah, and him being able to maybe refocus and get back into the game a different way, maybe that'll help him in his next plate appearances.
Well, not to play amateur psychiatrist, but I think when Garrido got stuck there at second, when he was caught in the rundown, I think we saw it visibly. DoDDS was not happy about it. I don't know if that unnerved him right there.
Yeah.
DoDDS leaves the game. He had 62 pitches and threw 30 of them for strikes.
Now, how surprised are you, Jared, at the score right now in just the 4th inning being 6-1?
Well, I mean, Patch can swing the bat. They talked a lot about, especially in the Stars and Stripes and other blogs and stuff like that. They talked about the pitching and the depth of pitching and where it's going and stuff like that. But I don't know if there's going to be any pitcher in Dodge right now that's going to slow down Patch. You've got 6-7 guys that can just poke the ball. And then you got the number 9 hitter who just hit a drive down the left field line. So I mean, really, it's kind of. You're kind of hoping for a good situation.
Yeah, I think that, you know, looking at this team, I think the only pitchers out there are on their team that can stop them, if that makes any sense. So, you know, as we saw yesterday, it was 7-2. They were down 7-2 to Heidelberg in the 5th inning and come back and win 14-7. So they scored 12 runs in just 3 innings. So right now we have Kathy Clemens, the tournament director here, and Sergeant Simpkins, and Mr. Jarrett.
All right, ma'am. So tell us about the tournament. Has it been going the way that you expected it to be going?
It's been going beautifully. My expectations are exceeded here.
Yeah. For a championship game like this, what does it mean for 2 teams to kind of build on the history and the programs that they have?
I think it's perfect to have these 2 teams here. Great players, great coaches. They have a good rivalry, and they're obviously evenly matched. And so it's a great way to end the tournament for D1.
And for somebody who's unfamiliar with the Dodge sports experience, can you describe it to somebody back in the States?
It's a lot different than the States because we're just so much smaller, and to see these kids who some don't have a lot of experience get the opportunity to play and be on these teams and be in championship games, it might be the only opportunity they would get to do this.
Yeah, and they sure get a unique experience being from being in Europe from so many different places.
Right, we have teams here from Germany, Italy, England, Netherlands, Belgium, and Spain.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for taking the time to hang out with us, man.
You're welcome.
So Dylan Mizell's right there with a base hit through the gap, and able to get another run in as C.J. Kellogg scores from third base, making it a 7-1 ball game in the top of the fourth inning with just one out now. Man on first and second, number 13, Ryan Tenenbaum steps into the box, and you know they brought LeBee in to stop the bleeding. His second or third pitch, it's a base hit.
Well, they're in a groove right now. You have to figure out a way to slow down the game. You want to disrupt this momentum that they've got going on. You know, hold the runners close to their bag. Throw them something that they're not expecting. You really, the coaches have a lot to do with this too. You need to get your mind right of your players and everything like that. So
Tenenbaum looks at a first pitch strike. 0-1, man on first and second with one out here in a 7-1 ball game for the 2012 Division I Dodge Baseball European Championship. And I got to tell you, this is a nice day for baseball out here in Ramstein, Germany. And these kids have done an excellent job throughout the tournament of playing good baseball. And these are the two best teams in Division I, no doubt about it. Both teams coming into this game undefeated. And there's Tenenbaum looking at a ball there, so it goes to 1-1, the count with one out here in the top of the fourth. So LeBee looking in for the pitch, checks the runner at second, but it doesn't look like they're really going to try to hold him on. Well, he continues to check, deals a breaking ball inside, bringing it to 2 balls, 1 strike, and a shoot back at the runner over at second base, but he is under the tag, no problem.
Yeah, LeBee's one of their more experienced pitchers. He ranks 3rd in the innings pitched for the regular season, and he's got a very low ERA of 1.54. So he knows how to get it done. I think he was used though earlier on in the tournament.
So the 2-1 pitch is called a ball by the umpire. So it is now 3 balls, 1 strike with a man on first and second, and a lot of speed on the base pass. Well, all these kids have speed. That's the thing about it. Well, certainly compared to me, they all have speed. So the 3-1 pitch outside. Oops, that'll make it 3-1. Excuse me. Pitch outside is Tenenbaum able to hold off on that one, and of course we've talked about it throughout the broadcast. Tenenbaum hit that big blast yesterday that really ignited their victory over the Heidelberg Lions to put them into this game. So Tenenbaum waits for the pitch, and he pops it high into the air, and it looks like the right fielder will get under that one. That's Tyler Hughes making the catch, and that is 2 outs now for the Ramstein Royals.
And it's a good thing they didn't test Hughes because he's already got 3 assists. 3 assists in the tournament alone. He's got a cannon. He's got a cannon,
and he can play the outfield well. He's a very good outfielder, but like we've talked about, these two teams are both defensively very good. Ruben Rodriguez steps into the box now for the Patch Panthers, the 3rd baseman getting ready for the pitch. LeBee checks the runners, gets ready to deal. And it was over the plate, but fouled off by Rodriguez. 0-1 now with 2 outs.
He's a little behind that one. I mean, it might be a good thing for Ramstein to be throwing the heat, something that their timing's a little bit off on, something that they haven't timed with Grotoloshin.
So LeBee checks the runner at second, throws it just a bit inside on Rodriguez to bring the count to 1-1 here with 2 outs. So a 7-1 ball game here for the Division I championship. And Ramstein really going to have to put the Band-Aid on right now if they want to get back in this game. A nice pitch there by LeBee as he's able to take a little bit off that as Rodriguez way ahead, bringing the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He pulled the string on that one. That's what you want to do, though, is he had the same exact arm speed as his fastball. He let the grip do the work, and he had Rodriguez way out in front.
So LeBee with the 1-2 count deals and is able to strike him out with a nice breaking ball. So that does it for the top of the 4th inning now, 7-1. And you look at the replay of this pitch here. A nice breaking ball. That one really fell off the table, and some nice 12-6 movement on that one. So after the end of 4.5, or the end of the top of the fourth, 7-1, as they were able to score all 7 of those runs in the top of the 4th inning.
It's really going to be interesting how Ramstein collects themselves after this, because not only do they have to get the bats going, I mean, they get a couple innings to do it too. The bats thing isn't just the issue. They need to do things on the defensive side too. They need to keep this a 6-run or less ball game. It really credits the coaches how these players are going to go ahead and execute. Not that them being in the championship game isn't good enough, you know.
Well, you give Dylan Mazells a 7 or a 6-run lead. You're asking a lot to overcome that.
But Mazells has pitched a lot. I mean, with the Heidelberg game yesterday, he's already put in, I want to say, about 5 innings. And it doesn't sound like that much, but when you put in 5 innings in any game, on any level, you're probably pitching what, maybe 60, 70 pitches?
Mm-hmm. Well, Grodeluchin threw 62 pitches, so.
Yeah, I mean.
And Mazells? I'll have that for you in a minute.
Well, Mazells pitched 2 innings yesterday and has already pitched 3 today, about to go for his 4th. But, you know, he didn't seem, talking with him, that was going to have much of an effect on him.
On Mazells?
Yeah.
Well, the kid's a competitor. Yeah. He goes out there and he expects the best. He leads the team not only through his relationships and how he does it off the field, but he'll take responsibility for what he does on the field too. I mean,
he's had 47 pitches and 25 for strikes, so he's
just had a half-hour rest too.
Yeah.
So we'll see where his arm's at right here.
Well, you point that out. He could have gone cold.
Yep.
Well, now John Grodeluchin steps into the box, and of course he was up to bat when the last inning ended on a bad running play.
And it's so important now. You think about it, your cleanup hitter not being able to swing the bat with the guy in scoring position. That was such a big play to what happened in the bottom of the inning.
And it was a momentum changer. Defensive plays always lead to great offensive plays. And the pitch, a ball inside.
Just a bit inside.
So 1 ball, no strikes now on John Grodeluchin. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And they definitely have to do something. You just chip away at that lead. You don't need to get all 6 in this inning, but you've got to chip away steadily. A breaking ball there by Mazells as he catches John Grodeluchin
off guard.
A little off guard. So a 1-1 count.
Put a hack on that one too. Grodeluchin has he can put a run on the board all by himself.
So Mazells gets ready to deal. And the pitch high and inside on Grodeluchin. 2 balls and a strike.
Grodeluchin leaves the game with 3 1/3 innings pitch. He only gave up 4 hits, but the 4 walks killed him as well. 7 earned runs given up and 3 strikeouts.
So Mazells gets ready to deal, and as we were talking about with Mazells and the change of the arm angle on the pitches, he throws everything the same way. And that's not what we saw from other pitchers in this tournament. We saw a lot of telegraphing the curveball, telegraphing the changeup, or just slowing down their release altogether on the changeup. He throws everything the exact same, keeping the hitter guessing. But John Grodeluchin able to hit a hot shot right at number 11. Andrew Buxkemper, who was not able to handle that, so a nice leadoff single to start the 4th inning. And you look at the replay here, Andrew Buxkemper just not able to field that one as it was hit hard.
Glove. Might have a hole in it now.
So Labie steps into the box after just finishing the last inning pitching. The runner at first base, John Grodeluchin, a lot of speed. And Labie looks at a breaking ball for a ball on the inside part of the plate, the outside part of the plate. And 1 ball, no strikes here, no outs in this 7-1 ball game in favor of the Patch Panthers over the Ramstein Royals for this 2012 Division I Dodge Baseball Championship. A ball in the dirt there now, 2 balls and no strikes on Labie.
Grodeluchin's got, he's tied for the regular season steals with Pendergast, I believe, for Ramstein. He's got 12 in 14 games, so he can move.
Yeah, we had this conversation earlier when I said, hey, he's got a lot of speed. And you said, he's so big. How could he possibly have so much speed? But I know Eric and I had a chance to watch him on the football field, and he's got speed. And
a nice hit and run. Oh,
a nice little hit and run, and the second baseman not able to field that ball. Austin LeMay bobbles it a little bit, and the runner will make it to first base, Dustin LeBee. So now you got a man at first and third with no out. So Ramstein going to try to answer the call that the Patch Panthers just put on them at the top of the fourth.
It's one senior after the next, one experienced player after the next. You had DoDDS getting up here with the hit, putting the sting on it. Short couldn't handle it. Then you put the hit and run on. Second baseman was out of place because he was going to go cover second. Now you're looking to your right fielder Hughes, who's been in these situations before in this championship game. So it's a big at bat.
So Tyler Hughes steps into the box now with a man on first and third, and he looks at a ball. A strike right over the plate. And the umpires call a timeout as a frisbee has been thrown onto the field. It's like being at a Dodger game, isn't it, Jared? I mean, we get beach balls flying down the field. They got to keep calling timeout.
Where's Rick Lunday when you need him?
As long as somebody doesn't go streaking, I'm good.
All right, so they're going to bring in a pinch runner. And that is, I don't know who. I believe that is Robert Navarro who comes in to run for Dustin LeBee. And Tyler Hughes waits for the pitch now. And that is a ball a little outside. 1-1 the count now on Tyler Hughes. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Man on first and third, DoDDS at third, and Navarro at first base. The pitch, and fouled off out of play by Tyler Hughes as he was a little bit behind that one, bringing the count to 1-2. So does the weather and the heat, does that play a part into the conditioning of the pitcher when you're out there and throwing so many pitches?
I think.
I mean, you literally have the spotlight on you, the big sun disk in the air. But he's probably just out of his groove. You know, his teammates got him so many runs, he's just, you know, kind of chilling out there like the Maytag repairman in the dugout. So.
His arm's got to feel like spaghetti. I mean, 3 days of playing baseball, it's a lot. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, Tyler Hughes goes for the bunt, and he was not able to lay it down, but the run will score. DoDDS able to score on that one, and that's how you manufacture a run, as you heard one of the fans just scream that from behind us, and it is now a 7-2 ball game. At this point, it's whatever it takes, I think, to get those runs across, and Navarro advances to second base. And
Hughes lunged for that pitch, so he was called out on strikes.
So Hughes lunges over the plate. Probably should have pulled back because that was a very high pitch, but he wanted to blind the catcher's eyes in that particular instance.
Yeah, it almost looked like a pitch out.
Now, would you call that a steal?
Yeah.
So we got a steal of home.
We had a big, long conversation about this yesterday about, was it indifference?
Indifference, but this was definitely not indifference.
Yeah, he made the attempt to get him out.
Okay. We need to call up Abner Doubleday.
So it looks they're going to conference as to whether Hughes is actually out or not. It looks as if. Well, I think what they're doing is they're arguing the count, actually. And they're saying that he did go around with that bunt. And that's what they were arguing. Did he go around with that bunt or not?
Pull it out?
And I think from here we all agree that he did not pull back.
No.
But we're going to look at the replay on that. And here you can see.
You can see he made an attempt.
He made an attempt at that bunt, and that's why he was called out.
Yeah.
Well, the Hague is down there if he wants to appeal it.
So the left-hander, number 4, Jacob Van Perry's up to bat. He takes a ball on the outside for a 1-ball, no strikes, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning in this 7-2 ball game in favor of the Patch Panthers. Mazzels looks in, checks the runner at second base, deals, and a called strike. So 1-1 now.
It's important for these young kids to realize that you don't have to get them all back. If you don't get 5 this inning, it's not the end of the world. I mean, There's a time limit, of course, but you don't have to get them all back right now. Stay in there and, you know, try and execute the best you can.
You know, it's all about chipping away and exactly staying into the game. I mean, this team, it's only the 4th inning. You got 7 innings total that you're going to play. You don't need them all right now, but you do have to chip away. So a 1-ball, 2-strike count, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-2 in the Dodge European Baseball Championships between the Ramstein Royals and the 2-time defending champion Patch Panthers, who are up 7-2 in this game. So Mizelles looks in for the sign. Van Parsi ready to hit. And a high pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Van Parsi. So Mizelles looking in. A big pitch here on the 2-2 count. And a nice little hit, but it looks like C.J. Kellogg will get under it, and he is out. We're out number 2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The runner, Navarro, didn't even bother moving off the bat. So number 44, Matt Sharpie, steps into the box now.
Go 4-4, have some fun up there.
So Sharpie getting ready for the Mizelles pitch. Mizelles looks in for the sign, checks the runner at second base, deals, and that is high and inside for ball 1. So with 2 outs here, Mizelles checks in. It's ready to deal, and a nice breaking ball for a strike. 1-1 now, and how important is it, Jared, to get that runner home at second base? You do not want to leave runners stranded in scoring position.
Down by 5, I'd say that guy's pretty important.
So Sharpie will do his best on the 1-1 count. Ball outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Mizelles, it seems like he sometimes is giving you different looks. Not so much different angles, but he's changing speed. He's got a slow breaking ball, then he kind of like snaps ones off, almost like a slider.
So Mizelles checks the sign, 2 balls and a strike, deals, and is able to get a pitch by Sharpie to make the count 2-2. If Sharpie is able to get on, Ryan Burke will come up to bat. He is the 9th hitter, batting .250 coming into the season, had a fly out to center. So Sharpie definitely trying to make sure he makes something happen here. 2-2, the ball low, and the runner will advance to third base. No throw there by the catcher.
Yeah, and I like that decision. You got 2 out. You got 2 strikes on the guy. You're at the bottom of the lineup. Why not just focus on getting this out?
Absolutely. Make sure you don't have that overthrow, and as we've seen all weekend, there's a lot of overthrows in this tournament. So Sharpie able to take ball 4, and he advances to first base. So now you got a man on first and third. The 9-hitter, Ryan Burke, up to bat. He's batting .250 coming into this tournament. Like I said, he flew out to center field in his last at bat, but I'm sure he's going to do anything he can to get on base right here.
You don't want to give up a hit, that's for sure. I mean, if you're Patch, if you're Mizelles, you've got the 7-8 guy up. You got the 9th guy, ninth, bottom of the order up. You don't want to give up a hit here. You got to work through it.
Yeah, if you're Patch, this is who you want to get out right now. A strike called there. Ball. 0-1 count now with 2 outs here, and you want to get him because you do not want Justin Pendergrass up the bat.
Yeah, you don't want to cycle back through. And
so Burke steps into the box, waits for the Mizelles pitch. Sharpie takes a nice lead at first base. Navarro at third base trying to give him a little, try to dance around a little bit, and Sharpie hits it to left field, a fly ball, and he is out. Not a problem for the left fielder, Sean Rittenhouse, to make that catch, and that ends the threat for the Ramstein Royals. And after 4, it is 7-2 in favor of the 2-time defending champion Patch Panthers. And it is 7-2 now after 4 innings, just 3 innings left of this championship game.
Or the call it on time. I believe in the championship games, they still do have the time effect. That's 1 hour and
45 minutes.
1 hour and 45 or 150?
Is that what it is, 150?
Yeah, 110 minutes.
So as you could see, a lot of fans out here today enjoying the ball game, and why not? I mean, how often do you get to enjoy championship baseball in Germany?
You don't get to go to the economy. Like, if you're in Los Angeles, you can be like, I feel like going to the Dodger game today. I mean, why not? It's right there. These guys don't have that, so this is the closest thing you're going to get to it. And it's a great time. There's lawn chairs, umbrellas, frisbees.
Frisbees flying on the field. No, it's great. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, the weather's great, and the weather is not cooperating. You know, if this had been the past few weekends, the weather would not have cooperated. But you are watching the 2012 Dodge European Baseball Championship, brought to you by AFN, Vice Media, and Incom Europe. So a great day for baseball, and we thank all those entities for making this happen. It is the first time that baseball has ever been baseball has been broadcast live on AFN. So pretty impressive to be part of that, isn't it, Jarrett?
I'm part of history.
Yeah. This is only the fourth one, too.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Did I ever call you? You're like Epic Eric.
Oh,
You know that?
I like that. What
Yeah.
is that good? Wait. Do I owe you money? Or
It seems like we might have had a position change. You had the number 3 batter in Garrido go to second, and I think Navarro replaced him in left. So somebody popped out of there. That's what they're discussing right now on the field.
So number 8, Sean Rittenhouse, steps into the box. He's batting .378 on the season. The left fielder takes a ball on the high inside ball. 1 ball, no strikes here in the top of the 5th inning in the 7-2 ball game in favor of the 2-time defending champion Patch Panthers. LeBee deals and low called ball. 2 balls and no strikes. No outs here in the top of the 5th inning. LeBee gets ready to deal with a high leg kick. Throws a nice breaking ball.
Yeah, high leg kick is right. I mean, it over dramatizes your wind up. So you got this high leg kick, the batter's all geared up for this fast pitch, and then all of a sudden, bam, drops 6 inches.
well, the highest leg kick was Juan Marshall. He got that thing over his head.
Yeah.
Pitching for the Giants back in the day, which was a Thursday, by the way.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
So 3 balls and 2 strikes now, the count full on Sean Rittenhouse to start off the 5th inning for the Patch Panthers. LeBee needs to get settled down just a little bit. He's kind of the saving grace right now for the Ramstein. Needs to hold this point differential, I guess you could say. You can't call it holding the lead, but you need to make sure that they don't score anymore, and he lets one go there for ball 4, and Sean Rittenhouse draws a walk. Up to bat now is number 6, Austin LeMay, who has struck out his last 2 at-bats, struck out looking his first at-bat, struck out swinging his second at-bat, and I'm going to tell you this, he doesn't do that very often, and I bet he doesn't want to do that again. So checks the runner and throws it back to first base. John Grudeluchin had to go up in the air to catch that one as he stopped a run from advancing right there.
Well, it helps he's 6'2".
Your players on the infield need to communicate because, I mean, his lead is pretty modest. You got a 6-foot lead. You need to be looking at your catcher to see what's going on if you can't catch him in your peripherals when you're looking down for that sight.
So LeBee with a low pitch there for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. 7-2 in favor of the Patch Panthers, and a ball hit hard through the right by the shortstop, and that will advance the runner to second base. So a man now on first and second. A nice hit there.
Yeah, it looked like Short was cheating. He was cheating for maybe that double play action, and he got burned.
Yeah, Ryan Burke not able to get back into position because he was definitely playing that double play. Now, number 11, Andrew Buckskemper comes up to bat with a man on first and second. He was batting .421 coming into this tournament. A nice hitting second baseman. And now the umpires want to discuss something. But right now is where the Ramstein Royals need to settle down. It's a 7-2 game. You're still in this game. You do not want to give up more runs to the Patch Panthers.
Yeah, it's all about focus right here. Baseball games are long. I mean, even though there's a time limit, only 7 innings, there's always a point in a game where the crowd kind of dies down, and it's just the players on the field and what they're doing, and the little things that you don't see on TV, the way you hold a ball, how much you choke up on the bat or something like that, that really just, it matters in the execution, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You don't want to get it out of hand. 7-2, calm down.
Coach Porter doing a little landscaping.
What's that? What happened?
I don't know. It looks like there was some kind of debris or something on the mound.
So 1 ball, no strikes on Buckskemper, who steps back into the batter's box, and Labie checks the runner at second base and throws a nice pitch right down Broadway. 1-1, no outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Buckskemper waits for the pitch. Labie gets ready to deal and into the dirt, but a swing and a miss by number 11, Buckskemper. And that was kind of a lackadaisical swing. I think he realized he got caught on a breaking ball.
He kind of went Olay on that one.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Buckskemper, the man they call Bucksy. And he tries it again, tries to throw it in the dirt and fool him, but not this time, says Buckskemper. 2-2.
It really looks like Labie's trying to throw hard out there. It looks like he's putting a lot of effort.
And a nice pitch there to get Bucksy out, and it is 1 out now in the top of the 5th inning. And number 18, the 9-hitter, Andrew Minetti, steps up to the plate, who had a nice hit in his last at-bat to score a run and continue the big 7-run inning for the Panthers. So 1 out here, and Minetti up to the plate, and he is caught looking silly with that swing with a nice pitch there by Labie.
I think he took that double down the left field line, scored 2. That's when you got all 4 men running around the bases like that. That's rough to see as an infielder.
So who put the quarter in the merry-go-round?
Yeah, right.
So here comes the 0-1 pitch, man on first and second. A ball low, bringing it to 1-1. And 2 fast guys out there on the base paths for the Patch Panthers. So you probably not going to see a lot of running, not to steal third base, not at this point of the game. Not when you're up 7-2.
A little insurance never hurt nobody.
Yeah, but if you don't use it, shouldn't you get the money back?
You would think.
Yeah.
Minetti able to hold off on that pitch. 2 balls and a strike as that bounced right in front of the plate. But Patch is just so hot right now. I mean, all their hitters are just hot right now.
When are they not hot? They've won, including this tournament, the last tournament. It seems to be maybe about 30 games in a row they've won. That type of confidence to have as a player and as a team, I mean, you almost don't want to get burned by it. But they're up again, 7-2. So
Minetti steps back into the box with a 3-1 count, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
You want to put it underneath?
And Labie throws a nice strike. The ball gets away from Van Parsie, but he's able to recover before any runners are able to advance. So a full count now on Minetti, and here's where Labie's going to have to make a big pitch, because this could make a big difference in the game. And there it is, a base hit right over the second baseman, and now you've got bases loaded with just 1 out.
It's a nice job by Hughes and Wright to get that ball back in.
And now you face that, we're going to look at the replay here. You see a nice hit there, taking it the opposite way.
He's really come through that number 9 spot. 2 big hits. Now you got your number 1 hitter,
C.J. Kellogg, who's batting .500 on the season. And then you go from Kellogg to Jack Smith to Dylan Mazzell to Ryan Tenenbaum. And that is 4 of the best hitters in Dodge stacked in a lineup together.
Ruth and Garrett come in.
Yeah. So Labie getting ready to face C.J. Kellogg, a guy who pitched yesterday for Patch, gave up 7 runs in his game to Heidelberg, but was also a big spark in that come from behind win. And it was actually this exact same score, 7-2, that they were down yesterday.
Yeah.
To come back to win that game 14-7. So Kellogg pops it straight up in the air. The catcher, Van Parsie, is tracking it, and he is able to make the out. So 2 outs now, and the sun clearly in his eyes.
We were discussing that. The ball's hitting straight up.
But he was able to look through it.
The big disc in the air.
Yes, the sun disc.
So 2 outs now here in the top of the 5th inning. The Ramstein Royals trail the 2-time defending champion 7-2.
And that was a big out considering that Kellogg put one at the top of the fence last time he was up, hit it 310 feet.
I think it hit the yellow, the little...
Yeah, and the center field ran up against the fence.
So Jack Smith steps into the box, batting .625 coming into this tournament. And he will get ready for the LeBee pitch. Gets set to deal here, and Smith wants to back out of the box, get another minute here, reset. Got a man on first and second, 2 outs, a base hit here, scores a run, so, excuse me, there's bases loaded. And a shot foul. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Got another conference here.
So the umpire and the coach have some words about something here.
And baseball's slow, but for Ramstein, you gotta not be satisfied with these breaks here because of the time limit.
Time is not on your side.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure what they're saying.
Maybe the batter
that
came out
Jack
of the
Smith
box.
did, but they're calling him out. And there's a little bit of confusion here between the umpires, the coaches, and players.
I hope it doesn't turn into a Jerry Springer episode.
So we're looking at the replay of the last pitch to see if that has anything to do with anything. And
looks like he may have thrown the bat.
That looks like what they're going to say is that he may have thrown the bat.
But it didn't look like he hit the catcher.
Well, it was very close, and the catcher made it.
I don't know if we can see that
made
again.
him aware. Made the umpire aware that he threw the bat.
Yeah, he pointed down immediately.
And I thought catcher's interference was they get a free base.
Well, that's it. The catcher interferes, but it appeared that Jack Smith may have thrown his bat back towards the catcher.
It's probably unintentional. I don't think he meant any malice by it. So
no.
So that the umpires and coaches still talking about it. They're over here at the booth, right by us.
Yeah, and the assistant coach immediately yelled at his players to get back on the bags. He seemed pretty confident that he knew the rules.
Technically, they came out of the base paths.
So we'll see what the call is here.
Yeah.
You certainly don't want any sort of controversy in a championship game.
And you sure hope that they stop the time for something like this.
Well, in wrestling, you have blood time, so they have your clock and everything. I don't know if you have disagreement time.
Are we calling this blood time?
Well, it could have been the bat. You know, that wouldn't feel too good against the temple. Or
well, with these two teams, though, you might as well call it blood time because of their relationship.
So you look at the replay here, and you can see where they're saying he threw the bat, and
oh yeah, he just let go of it towards the.
He let go of it, and you see that the catcher Van Parsie kind of jumps up there, and he calls attention to the umpire. But at the same time, where's the umpire looking right now? You see him look down the line.
Yeah, he's where he's supposed to be looking.
Right, but was he in a position to see that bat be thrown?
Well, the catcher jumps up immediately.
Yeah. It's an interesting call there.
That would be the third out and get Ramstein out of this inning.
Well, I think if you're Ramstein, you're definitely arguing as much as you possibly can to make sure that they call that a thrown bat. Clearly it was unintentional, but it certainly did go towards the catcher, Van Parsie, as he had to jump out of the way. As you can see, there's one of our camera operators waving around. We've got 6 different cameras set up throughout the field, thanks to Vice Media, AFN Europe, and of course IMCOM making this happen.
And luckily, my face hasn't broken any of them yet, so we're doing pretty good.
Well, we're doing our best to keep you off camera. So.
Well, I have a face for radio, Adam. So.
And if you want to hear us on radio.
Are you giving me a job? Are you Donald Trump?
And there's the bearded one, as I like to call him, CJ Kellogg, who I think we agree has the best baseball name of anyone in any of these games.
It would be better if he was born in Battle Creek, Michigan.
CJ Kellogg, his favorite player is Brian Wilson, the closer for the San Francisco Giants, and I think that's why he sports that nice little beard.
He's right up there with like Kirby Puckett.
I don't think I'm still able to grow a beard like that, and I'm 30, so
yeah.
If this kid's doing it at, what, 16 years old, 17 years old?
Yeah, he actually listed in his strengths.
It's creatine,
He listed in his strengths that to be able to grow facial hair is one of his strengths. So it's pretty funny.
Oh, and he's impatient.
Apparently. Yeah, that's a weakness, I think.
So Karen Sidori, the director of Dodge,
right
is actually over there talking about the call with the officials. And here you can see just the wonderful day this is. People have to bring out their umbrellas, their kids, the coolers, watching some great baseball. What a wonderful day this is.
Come out to the ballpark and enjoy a Coke and Dodger Dog.
So no kidding, if I'm looking at the umpires with the rule book out, checking to make sure that they make the right call here. But you know, in a championship game, that's what you got to do. You got to make sure you make the right call.
It's true.